think everyone that benefits from a ruling within the EU has to think about, well, is that now called into question? And what does that mean for the structure that I have in place? And what is that going to mean for plans that I have? There may be something that you've already got in the works or a tweak to a structure, and you have to think, well, how much can I rely on the comfort that I've come to expect from various governments within the EU, that what we want to put in place will be respected. And I think that's a really big issue for everyone. Tax departments now are facing a number of resource constraints. So this is, kind of another thing that they have to worry about on top of all the things that they were worrying about with Brexit, with a number of things going on in the US and tax reform and the like. And so now it's, we didn't have capacity to deal with one more thing, and this is a huge thing to deal with. And so at the moment, I think people are kind of hopefully taking a deep breath and trying to figure out what their priorities are, talking to the CFO, trying to get extra budget allocations, et cetera, because this is a big deal. And again, as I said, even though you may have expected something to happen, I don't think people expected something quite on this level. And so it's going to get a lot of attention from a number of different constituents within the organization. And so somebody's going to have to pay attention to it, and that means money. And so I think, again, this is going to be an issue for a lot of tax groups, is to kind of figure out how they resource manage this, just in the short term. Mm-hmm. There are a couple of things, some interesting things have come out. I think the Treasury Secretary in the US said that this really looked like an attempt to tax income that really belongs to the US. And there's been some speculation that this will push more of a tax reform agenda in the States. Don't know how far that will go, and depending on how the elections go, we may have very, very different administrations in the States, and so it'd be very unclear until November to figure out what will happen. I do think it will cause everyone to kind of relook at the whole system of rulings and just how reliable are they. And so I do think people will be watching very closely how this plays out within the European courts, and whether or not this will end up being an anomaly that ends up, kind of shaking up things a little bit, but not too much if the courts decide that the Commission has overstepped its bounds. Or it may end up that it upsets the whole apple cart.